who thinks that it is a good idea for you as a taxpayer to pay off their student loans, okay? Because this is what Democrats are pushing for, okay? They want people who didn't go to college or who were responsible enough to pay off their student loans or currently paying off their student loans to pay off the student loans of individuals who went to schools like Langston University, where the graduation rate is only 5%. And you're going to see very quickly why the graduation rate at Langston University, which happens to be an HBCU, is only 5%.
You said 5%. Yeah, English only got 5% out of the 100% students that's going there graduating. That's terrible.
Percent, because apparently the obesity rate is higher than the graduation rate at this school. And
now, what does the obesity rate has to do with schooling? I don't know. So you got to go ding 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 on this guy. And what's his real objective? You know what I mean? Like it's, like the obesity rate, like what is that? Okay, I can understand, like the function may seem a little much and you may not understand it, but why the obesity thing? I mean, even if it was obesity, I mean, it is obesity, but if it wasn't obesity, what the hell?
this is going viral because people are wondering, how in the world is it that we have colleges and universities that are currently operating, although they clearly are failing? And videos like this show exactly why this university is failing. So without further ado, let's get into it.
First of all, there are reasons why the university is failing. And I did a video earlier. I might use this one or that other one, but it's understood that, according to the superintendent, when she was in front of the board, she was stating that they were getting 43 cents to the dollar versus OSU, which is 20 minutes down the road in Stillwater. They were getting 7 times the amount. So maybe that could have something to do with it, Mr. Black Man. Now, I can't lie. Now, you know what I'm saying? When I went to school, I went there in like 92. Yeah, the sororities, the fraternities and sororities pretty much ran the show, and that what it was about. I mean, they had a basketball team and a football team. Y'all didn't have no wrestling team, though. They didn't have no wrestling team, but it is what it is, right? That is funny though, with the music and everything now. That's kind of funny.
Yeah,
Wow.
everybody is. Is that the sorority?
Yeah, this is gonna be my go-to video, right? When somebody says, "What is your argument against Democrats paying off student loans?" I'm just gonna send this video, right, with nothing else, no caption, no explanation. Here's the video, right? This is my argument for why we definitely should not have mass student loan forgiveness, because you have stuff like this, activities like this, happening at these universities, and
This guy says you shouldn't have mass student loans because you have stuff like this at the university. I mean, maybe it's a weekend. You ever heard of a weekend? You never know. What day that function is and what have you. So this guy, you sound like you're intelligent because you're talking about Democrats or Republicans, which have nothing to do with this shit, except for, well, it does. I take that back. It does because of the tax dollars. But from a black man's point and standpoint right now, just looking at it, like it has It's innocent. They could be doing something a whole lot worse. You know what I mean? They could be plotting to do this and creeping up on people and going up behind, but instead they're dancing, and then they're going to go back to their dormitories and the co-eds and and go back to their halls, and after that, whatnot, and then maybe the next morning they're going to study. You never know. Just because you ain't never had no kind of let's say rhythm or anything, I can tell you can tell this guy doesn't have any rhythm or anything. You know what I mean? And I wonder what his girlfriend looks like.
These universities are failing, and I'm not one of these guys who believes that you shouldn't have fun in college, but there's a lot of waste, fraud, and abuse in higher education. I can tell you, okay, as somebody that went to college, a lot of it is wasteful, right? They're spending money on a lot of things that don't have anything to do with gaining skills, okay? Because that is what higher education should be about, right? It should be about getting job skills, return on investment, especially if the government is going to be funding students going to college with grants and loans, okay? You have to have a positive return on investment. A 5% graduation rate is an absolute failure. So when you have students that...
And then I'm going to play the other video where she's defending the school, the superintendent, and letting y'all know that they're short $406 million that they haven't received in the last... She's been there 10 years. She hasn't gotten it one time. And this young man, a black young man, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. You need to find something better to do with your time. If you got enough time to sit back and go look and see who's doing the worst in the HBCU. Now, I don't know. Maybe you did do it thoroughly and you looked, and there's no other universities, and these are the worst ones. If it is, then I can understand. But at the same time, you need to do your research a little better before you just go make a video. You see a graduation rate and you see some big girls, and now you want to go do a video. Those girls probably wouldn't give you the time of day, especially by the way you talk. You'd be the one sitting on the sideline anyway with them big girls.
Are participating in these types of activities, and don't get me wrong, I don't have anything against fraternities and sororities, right? But when you have this type of activity happening, okay, as the school failing, right, with an embarrassingly low graduation rate, that's a problem, right? That's a big problem. That signals that something is wrong. Something is not working correctly. When
could it be that they never get the grants and the money and the funding that Donald Trump, the Republican, that sent out for them, that they never received those funds? Could that be the answer? Oh, let's look around, look around, look around, look around, look around. Oh, I know. It's the big obese girls causing it. You sound crazy, man.
The school is failing when you have individuals who are not being educated, but yet they're finding time to do stuff like this, right? What are you celebrating? Because statistically speaking,
how do you know they're not educated? You don't know. That could be the next yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Statistically speaking, only about 5 to 15% of these students will graduate in 4 years, right? And about 20% of them
could be the next Oprah, nigga. The next Monique, nigga. You don't know what your herb has. You got a damn hey, one of my best friends in there. I can't say that no more. But anyway, you weird ass dude.
They might graduate in 6 to 8 years. Now, to give you guys a comparison, the average graduation rate for public universities across the country is about 33%. Langston University, this university is one of the worst universities in the world, right? Period, okay? You don't believe me? Just look it up, okay? Their graduation was so abysmal that it is one of the worst performing universities in the entire world, okay? And this is the problem when people talk about the cost of college and university. Not that this university is particularly expensive, but again, what you see here is just a symptom of why college is so expensive, but yet Again, we're not really getting that much out of it, or as much as you should be getting out of it, considering how much people pay to go to school. Right. It's because of stuff like this, right? In the ideal world, universities like this shouldn't exist. You should have a university like this exist, getting federal money.
This dude said they shouldn't exist. What a damn coon. Like, I say get rid of that shit. That Greek shit, and that stamping and shit and all that shit, get rid of that shit. Get rid of that shit, then they probably won't get no funding at all. They already don't get it. So, dude, you don't know what you're talking about. A lot of those organizations and stuff, and those fraternity and sororities throwing those parties and stuff, is probably how they are getting funding on the low. If you had any kind of hood or any kind of background of coming up in the or struggling any kind of way whatsoever, and trying to put ends together, making $1 out of 15 cents, so to speak, or doing what they do on the street corners, man. If you experience any of that, you would kind of understand that everything ain't what it seems, and you don't know what kind of money that's generating in that auditorium each dollar per head. You damn fool.
Federal dollars, and they're not producing.
Federal dollars. Man, shit, that money's on the low. Somebody getting it somewhere, and we don't know where it's going or whatever and whatnot. But yet, why are you investigating the HBCU that hard?
They're not producing, okay? And these HBCUs, some of them, a lot of them really are in this same boat where they're just not really producing good quality.
So now he gonna throw them all under the bus. Look at this, cool. I wonder what his girlfriend looks like.
Quality results, but yet they continue to come to the federal government with their hands out talking about they need more money, right? And it's not about the money, okay? It's not the money, okay? Because when you look at the racial breakdown of the graduation rate, guess who got the highest rates of graduation at Langston?